I am so excited about this. You're gonna feel it. I'm gonna make a promise in a second. I've got some really cool stuff for everybody. And this is about the convergence of affiliate marketing and small businesses across the United States, whether it's your town or any town, doesn't matter if you even live in the US, you can live somewhere else. But at the end of the day, what I want to do is I want to deliver on a couple of promises. There's going to be no hype in the webinar. I stripped the entire webinar of any hype, and which is hard because I've never been this excited. So I stripped it completely down. There is no ask this evening. I don't want a penny. I don't want a PayPal. I don't want a, what do you call it, a deposit, a dollar trial. There's nothing. Put your wallet away. What I want to do is I want to show each of you how you could personally benefit from referring businesses. And I'm going to show you how you can profit in a very unique way by doing good for others, helping other people with their absolute biggest need. Now, what I'm going to do that's going to be kind of fun is for anybody that, I don't know how I'm going to pick it, but I'm going to give 4 of you some cash prizes. And it's going to be like progressive. So the more engaged the call is, right now, there's going to be 4 $250 prizes. But the more engaged the crowd is, the more fired up you are. It might be 500 each, might be 750, might be 1,000. I'm serious. I have not been this excited. And if you get what I'm doing and this resonates with you, just engage. But plug into what we're doing, listen, and you're gonna love it. So Brian Mahon, if I probably mispronounced your last name, thank you so much. And everybody else, we're gonna dive in super fast. I have a couple obligatory slides. This is just a picture of myself and my wife, just to kind of who, what, when, where. So I'm based in Atlanta, like Todd said. I have 4 kids that are no longer young. I have a middle school, a high school, and 2 in college. And I've got a marketing agency that, I will be honest, in the last 18 months, I have stepped away from an almost 8-figure agency business to focus on this. And then unrelated, I'm also a local official in my town. I'm on the school board. So I did that as a volunteer role to connect and help people. And I wanted something to kind of really anchor myself locally. I spend most of my free time with my kids, traveling. This is a travel picture over Christmas holidays. You can see I have the laptop bag on my shoulder. Don't ask me why. And my kids are really like, why are we taking a picture? Anyway, at the end of the day, you guys, for me, it's family. Everybody has a why. And I'm not going to sit here and tell me your why. But I do challenge you. And I'll talk about it in a second. I challenge you to think of what drives you. What's important for you? What is it that makes you want to give that extra effort, right? What is it? So February of last year, I think it was January or February of last year, so about a year ago, I did this webinar with an old school, I'll call him old school guru type, Brian Tracy. Now, give me a 1 if y'all know Brian Tracy or know who he is or of him, etc. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, William gave me a lot of 1s. Listen, this guy, fabulous guy. But I'm not here to, preach and teach you about Brian Tracy, but he said this thing. You can only grow if you're willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable. You got to get out of your comfort zone. Do this. If you are willing to get awkward, to get uncomfortable, if it meant achieving your goal, if it meant real success, give me 3 sevens, like the Vegas. I don't recommend slot machines, but give me 3 sevens because I want you to realize this is a winner, right? All of us. I love it, William. Thank you, my friend. And Richard and Tommy, all you guys, Marcus, John Young, all you guys. Listen, I am uncomfortable talking sometimes to people I don't know, like in big crowds and stuff. And I was at this event last week in Washington, D.C. and I met the mayor of Miami. And so I'm talking to the mayor of Miami in this large group, and I was explaining what I'm doing. And he said, Brian, would it be possible to have you come by and talk to my team on how we can help you? Think about that. I put myself out of my own comfort zone, and this is what happened. Now, what's unique about what I'm doing and what you should consider is I'm not selling any products. The program is really kind of easy to explain. As a matter of fact, you don't need to be an expert, right? Very important. You don't need to be an expert. And it has a great potential value, not only to you, but the business. So think about it. Nothing to sell, easy to explain. You don't have to be the rock star of all time. And there's a massive value. Let's see, Steph, log out. I'm going to give, and back in. We got somebody with no audio. I know that feeling. All right, so this is what we're doing. Now I want you to imagine, go in your DeLorean, your time machine, your TARDIS, whatever you want to imagine it, and I want you to jump back in time, first week of March 2020. The world was waking up to this virus, right? This whole coronavirus thing that obviously happened everywhere. And I was at a marketing event in DC called WebinarCon outside of DC. So I was in a bubble. When I came out of that bubble on like the 9th of March or the 8th, it was the 8th of March, something like that. I went to the airport and all these people were in mass. And, you know, I'd been living in La La Land. I didn't know anything that was going on. Guys, if you can picture right on the cusp of COVID, right on the cusp of schools shutting down, businesses shutting down, everything that happened in Italy, in Asia, all over the world, right? All the uncertainty, the fear that existed. Think about that. I want you to put yourself in that moment. In that moment. So, the government, now we all know that in the United States, you've got two dominant political parties and they typically don't agree. And then we had a president that, you know, he took a strong stance on one side, alienating the other side, right? So all three of these people actually got together. The two political parties in Congress, the Senate, and the president got together, and we have this legislation that was passed in the US March 27th. This might be the fastest the government ever did anything in their life. March 27th, I think, of 2020. And you know what? It was called the CARES Act. And out of the CARES Act was born this thing that was the rage for a couple months called the PPP. Give me a 3 if you've heard of the PPP. Anybody? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Hey, Vanessa, when you get a gift card, let's shoot out some Amazon gift cards if you don't mind, Vanessa. If you don't, how about Samuel Howard and Alana Shelley? Who else? Carlos Smart, thank you for being engaged, Carlos. And how about who's my man that's been super active? Where'd you go? I'm gonna find him. There's so many of you now. How about William? William is super active. William the Third, it says here. So listen, now this thing was amazing. I'd never even imagined anything like it. The government basically said, hey, don't let all your people go. And if you did, hire them back and we'll give you some money, right? And millions of businesses were given a piece of the pie. $659 billion. Like, it's unbelievable in funding. Now, there obviously are lots of stories of people that committed fraud and stole from the government, or even large businesses that shouldn't have got the money, right? We've all heard the stories. I'm not here to dwell on that. What I want to do is focus on the good that it did. Because what happened is these businesses around the country, restaurants we all go to, local stores in our towns were hurting, and the government did it right, and they don't always get it right. You know it, and I know it. Forgivable money, 100% forgivable if you met some criteria. Vast majority of businesses did qualify, and it helped these businesses. Now, the negative is this thing ended. They ended. Even the second round, I think, ended in May of 21, and might have even been in April 21. But this CARES Act, this law created back in March of 2020, had another entitlement program, a handout program, so to speak, designed to help businesses. Right? Marcus is outside of the US, Marcus K. It was a program designed to put cash in businesses' hands so that they didn't let all their employees go. I can't remember the whole formula right now, so I don't want to get too detailed on it. So let's say this other program, shout out to Sebastian, it's about, it was a very complicated program. I looked at it at the time in 2020, and it was called the Employee Retention Tax Credit. It's still called the Employee Retention Tax Credit, funny enough. Sometimes you will see this abbreviated ERC or ERTC, and it means the same thing, right? It's just shorthand. And this was one other program designed to give out money to small businesses. So before tonight's webinar, do me a favor. How about give me a yes if you've heard of it before, or a no if you haven't. Is that simple enough? A yes if you've heard of this, and a no if you hadn't. Awesome. All right, I'm getting a lot of yeses, dude. This is exciting, you guys, and I'm getting some no's too. Okay, now, here's where it gets interesting. Created by the same government program, it's like super hard. It started out, you'd get 50% of qualified wages and health plan costs paid from March 12th of 20 and before January 1st of 21. So basically 3/4, if you will, of 2020. And, it would take the first 10,000 of wages, you'd get half. So in essence, you'd get like $5,000 an employee if you met certain conditions. $5,000 an employee. All right. So you have 20 employees, 100K. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now I'm going to tell you the negative. Before I do, who knows what was one of the problems out of the gate with this? What was one of the reasons that this program completely and utterly flopped? You would think, what do you mean it flopped? Well, in March of 2020, every single business decided they were going to do a PPP. And the PPP, it was one or the other. CARES Act said, John Michael Angelia, right? Angelia. Oh my God, did I butcher your name? Forgive me. You could only do one. You could only pick one. So it was kind of a bummer. It would rule out tens of millions of businesses who needed the help, right? So this was the way the program came out. Everybody picked PPP. It was a one-pager. It was very easy. The ERTC required a degree in tax computation to do. It was very complicated. Now the good news, ARPA, or American Rescue Plan Act, was signed in March of 2021. This is just another law, another piece of legislation designed to put money, relief from the pandemic, in the hands of businesses. There were other programs designed to help consumers, normal people, right? This one was designed to help cities, school systems, and business owners. And what it did, it amended, expanded, and enhanced, how's that for language, right? The CARES Act around ERTC, right? It amended, it expanded, and it enhanced. Now, businesses that had previously got the PPP now are eligible to get the ERC or ERTC, right? So all of a sudden, the tens of millions of businesses that had taken the PPP now were eligible for this other pot of gold, this other bit of money, right? This money that they desperately needed to move forward. This is what happened. Thank you, James Thorpe. Listen to this. And Vanessa, gift card to Robert Blake. Robert Blake said what I was thinking. At the time, if you had walked into your CPA's office and you said, Brian, let's say I'm your CPA, I want to get the employee retention credit. Can you do that work for me? They would say no. They would decline. They would say, no, I don't do that. Imagine trying to do this when your accountant didn't want to do the work. Okay, so the net is there's money available to businesses in the United States, in the territories, Puerto Rico, Guam, etc., right? For part of 2020 and part of 2021. And if you're a startup business, you could even qualify for an additional 3-month period. Now, none of this sounds cool yet, but don't worry, I'm about to make it cool. None of this sounds cool. At the end of the day, the most important thing you can do is the next question. How much money? I've got a gift card for a lot of people. Let's see who gets this right. How much money can a business get in total? Who knows how much money they can get? How much money? Dean Renfro. Vanessa, get Dean, my friend Dean, a gift card. Let's get Tracy A one too. And Danny Foe. They were the first out of the gate. $26,000 per W-2 employee. Now, let's get a little more specific. There's this old phrase. It doesn't say 26,000. Can you see it? Up to. That's government speak for, well, we don't really know. You could get as much as 26, but you probably won't. That's the truth, okay? You can get up to 26, but you probably won't. All right, now I want to take a pause for a number of reasons. One, I'm going to take a sip of water. Two, y'all, I want to ask you this. The government is giving aid money out, entitlement money out to businesses that they do not have to repay. They don't have to pay them back. Where I want your head to be, how does this help me? How does it help you? What do we do? Why should you even care? Why does Todd care? Why is he here? Why are we here tonight at whatever time it is? Right? And I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to let you answer that. We'll pick a few more winners, you guys, right? Everybody, I want you to engage. I want you to plug in. What if I told you the next 20 minutes of this call could change your life forever? I mean it. The answer to this question could change your life. I'm going to have a sip of water. 1 sec. Okay. So, man, I'm getting fired up. I feel like, man, you guys, I am so excited. Everybody just left. They left me the car keys, and I said, no, I'm not going anywhere, you guys. I'm not going anywhere. The answer is yes. How does it help you? Carl's story. Vanessa, gift card to Carl. By bringing this knowledge to small businesses, he said they will pay us for that knowledge. He's partially correct. By bringing this to the business, it's not about them paying us. It's about us helping entrepreneurs. Give me a 5 if you consider yourself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur. Don't care where you live. Give me a 5. Don't care what you do. Do you think of yourself as an entrepreneur? Yeah. I love it. I love it, guys. Listen. Vanessa, get Efrain Gortari gift card. Okay. Here's why. How does it help you? One, the businesses don't know about the program. Now, let me put a caveat on that. Most. in certain niches like restaurants, more and more are starting to learn about it. Doesn't mean they did anything with it, but they're starting to learn about it. Now, the second reason, somebody hit it a minute ago, and oh, don't ask me to remember who it was, but it's super complicated. I mean that with all respect. All of us are probably reasonably bright guys and gals, but it is actually far beyond most people's capability, especially the average, whatever that means, business owner. And it's probably beyond the smart business owner to do themselves. And when you factor in a few seconds ago, who was it that said a lot of CPAs aren't doing it? Nah, I can't remember who it was. I'm getting old. Robert Blake, I think. Listen, it was Robert Blake. Thank you, Robert, for reminding me, and I remembered your name. So Robert said it, and he is right. My CPA wouldn't do it. I'm in this. Okay, I may or may not be. I love to play cards with neighbors of mine. I've been playing poker with some buddies of mine for about 22 years. Majority of them are business owners, not all. Majority are business owners, and I asked each of them back then, "Had you heard of this?" Not a one. Not a one. We had a guy who was a guest the night, whatever night this was that I did it. He's actually a CPA, and he chuckled. He goes, "Brian, they may not have heard of it. I've heard of it, and it's a hell of a lot of work." And he's like, "Yeah, we don't even do it." And he goes, "No, you're right, Brian, but it's a lot of work." So you got this program with free money that a lot of businesses, most even, don't know about, and it's hard. It's hard. I'm going to mention it again. This is it really important. Most CPAs, they don't even know how to do the work. I want you to imagine 3 or 4 months ago, I think it's about when it was. I think I have a slide coming up. I actually was invited to speak at the American Institute of CPAs. I might have got that wrong, but the AICPA. And I spoke about this program. I spoke about qualification and stuff to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of CPAs. And they knew less than a lot of you on the call. So, all right, let's keep moving forward. Now, before you get all bummed out about hard, I get it, right? I want to tell you a secret. When I was a newly employed guy, I was first job out of college. I was working for IBM, and I remember one of the sales guys saying this thing: complexity creates opportunity. And he was talking about, when something's challenging and hard, it really does open the door. And it kind of stuck with me. This was like a trusted mentor kind of guy, and he just had nuggets of wisdom that he would always impart. And just like in the gold rush, right? Think about it. Just like back in the day, we all hear these phrases. The miners needed lots of help, right? We hear about picks and shovels. You want to get rich, sell picks and shovels. Well, I want to tell you guys, there's some truth to this. Levi Strauss. Who else? We got Levi Strauss. We've got all the different businesses that began and were started during the gold rush to serve and help miners, right? Well, today, all across the country, look, the pandemic, I hesitate to use the word gone. I don't like absolutes. The pandemic has morphed. It isn't what it was. There's obviously new strains and variations, but one thing is for sure. There is lingering effects in businesses all over the country. They were damaged, they were hurt, they took on debt, they fired employees, they were shut down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they need help. They haven't recovered. They need people like Robert Blake, Sebastian Hernandez, Leo, who else on here? They need all of us to show them the money, to tell them about the money, and to help get them the money they truly deserve, to help get them the money they deserve. Leo, I just saw your message. I see you. I can't read them all because there's so many people here, but I just saw it. Okay. Listen, you guys, this is exactly what's going on. And I want to tell each of you, my friends, Todd, Luann, all of us, Each of us, James, Vanessa, all of us, you guys, Marge, Davey, Douglas, Tracy, Stan, Danny, we have the power to help American entrepreneurs get access to money from the government that they don't have to pay back. How many American entrepreneurs can we help? Think about it. How many entrepreneurs can we help? Now, what I'm going to do right now is something I never would normally do on a webinar. If you've been on a webinar before, you know that it's critical to follow some formula that some smart person made up years ago, which involves building this massive amount of value so that when I make an offer to you, you want to sign up. However, I'm going to put Vanessa on the spot. I don't know if she's here. Vanessa, are you here still? I want to do something very different if you are.
I am always here.
Okay. Vanessa's like my rock star. Y'all, if you don't know Vanessa, oh my God, she's amazing. All right, Vanessa, this is going to be a little odd. I'm going to put this, I just made this. I want you guys to type the word link in the question box. Only if, you don't have to, if you want to fast forward and get the link. Because I've already had like 10 of you ask. It's hard for me to multitask right now. Listen, if you know that what I'm saying is starting to be compelling and interesting, and the fact that you don't have to pay anything, the fact that you can help entrepreneurs, you can actually do good for others while earning money. If that interests you and you want a shortcut, I want you to type link now. I want you to do it right now. And when you do, Vanessa, please just reply to that person privately. And I want you to give them the link, if you will. And you guys, what I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to do. We're only going to reply privately. All right, just hang with me. I know. It seems uncool, and I apologize. But I wanted to do this because I know that when I'm on a webinar, I have like adult ADD. I'm like, all right, please, Brian, or please, Ben, whoever I'm listening to, right? Please, Todd, please give me the link now. Please, I'm ready to go. I want to watch it on fast forward, right? If you are there, and some of you are, there's a handful of you, right? Maybe 100 or so. Listen, type link. We're gonna shortcut this for you because I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you something that I knew, right? I asked myself, could I do it? Was I able to help? I'm not an accounting guy at all. I think it's one of the only classes in college I made a C in was accounting. Listen, could I help entrepreneurs with this, right? And I'll be honest, I knew I could do this. Look, I've been beat up. I've been in traffic. I've been let go, fired. I've been through it all, just like a lot of you on the call, just like everybody. I knew I could do this, and I knew I had to do it. Now, I need to tell you that as far as I know, Todd and Brian are both not tax and audit professionals. And except in rare instances on this call, neither are you. Now, I know there are probably some of you that are. Listen, I knew, and I've been a believer in this since the beginning. I knew I needed experts. I know I needed professionals to help me. And I'm going to show you how you can kind of emulate what I've done. And I want you to know that I am taking down multiple deals a day, each paying at least 4 figures. I'm doing it over and over and over again. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Sometimes it pays more than 4 figures. So what I did in March, April, actually it was April-ish, is I started saying, how do I do this? How do I take my internet marketing? How do I take these superpowers and how do I generate deals? How do I do affiliate marketing and lead gen to generate deals? And so I generated deals for a CPA firm. I loved the CPA. I loved his staff, his sales guy, his little team. But you know what happened? I got him to agree to pay me, and it was cool. But you guys, imagine this. Imagine generating 705 deals in 1 month. I was getting rich on a spreadsheet. Give me a 9 if you ever build a spreadsheet to track all the money you were going to make but hadn't made yet. Because I did. I built a spreadsheet to end all spreadsheets. Vanessa was so proud of me. I had a pivot table. Man, I had this spreadsheet. It was maxed out, you guys. It was unbelievable. Jen, get Jen a gift card. Jen said, of course, Brian. Of course. Right? Okay. Listen, I generated so much business. The accounting firm wasn't really built to scale. And so what happened is I had to go back to the drawing board because what I was doing wasn't going to scale and it wasn't working and I was not happy. So I knew I needed a strategic partnership. I didn't want to simply be an affiliate. I wanted a strategic relationship. So I went around and I spoke with all these firms. And I eventually chose what was the best company, right? And I cut a deal for more money, commission, support, a seat at the table, direct access to my own team, right? I negotiated this deal. And all right, I'm going to pause. How many of you are thinking this? Hey, I'm not a business. How much money can I make? I just want to refer deals, Brian. I'm not even a business. I don't have any employees. If you're thinking this, just say me. Just say me if this has crossed your mind at all. And let's peel the onion back and let's figure this thing out and figure out what works. All right, Clyde Bass, gift card for Clyde, Vanessa. Listen. All right, watch this. Let's just, y'all, I stripped all income out. So on average, the referrals I make pay between 1.8 and 4% of the amount collected. So the business, right? The business may get 100, 200,000, 500,000, and I was making between 1.8 and 4%. Let's talk about a typical business. Y'all, I can use this example because the first 18 years of my life, my younger brother, he's 2 years younger than me, we grew up fighting, playing video games, getting along, not getting along. And I did not get a release from my brother. I just figured I'm going to use his example. And so one day I called him and I said, Sean, do you mind if I use your example? He goes, yeah, I don't care. So this is my brother's air conditioning business. He's got 2 buildings that look like this and about 10, 11 trucks, right? So let's see. Let's do the math. My brother, 11 employees. One's him and the other one is his wife, Dana. They didn't count. So he had 9. He got $204,000 back. I want to let that sink in for a minute. $204,000 back that he didn't have to repay. Think about it. $204,000 back. Now listen, let's do the math. I sampled some recent deals. Now I made this slide on December 18th, and I basically, we do so many deals it's not even funny, but I took the previous 432, couple weeks. Average deal is about 159,000. It holds true in that it's somewhere between 145 and 175 on any given month. So that's a fair number right there in the middle. And the largest deal in this sample was 2.2 million, which funny enough went to a charity in California. 2.2 million to a charity that helped the homeless in California. So does everybody give me a yes if you understand? So we know businesses are getting on average about $1.60. I'm gonna round it up. All right. They're getting this money in large deal. This was a large one on the right. This is unusual. That's large. Okay. The lowest commission, the lowest payout on an average deal. So the lowest payout, y'all, about $2,863.95. On that average deal, that's a low payout, right? And I'm trying to make this real. I'm not going to sit here and say Jim Bob or Brian did this. I'm going to keep this. These are all real numbers. Well, of course, if I give you on an average deal, there's a range, right? Well, the high payout on an average deal is about $7,159.90. So there are different reasons why you might get such a swing. I mean, how many of you are thinking, Brian, like $2,863 is amazing, but I would really like to get $7,000 for the same deal, right? All right. Well, listen, this is the same deal, the absolute same deal. Different commissions on the same thing. Okay, so why the range? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's all about choice. Now, some businesses pay less money for paying the accounting fees up front. Other businesses pay a deposit and then the balance later. And some businesses choose to pay the normal fee to the accounting team, right? And then defer their payment until they eventually get the money from the Internal Revenue Service. So it's these choices that dictate the range and how much is left, how much money. So I wanted to answer that because I know that I would care about that. As you can see, depending on the amount collected, it could be very substantial. So by a show of hands, we're going to pick the number 8. No. How about the number 4? Because that's the dollar sign if you do a shifted 4, right? If you could get deals for $7,000 helping a business, and you didn't have to ask them for any money, and you're really helping get them money, do you think $7,000 would that make a difference in your reality and your day to day? I see some no's. What if you did it twice? Twice? What if you did it 3 times? 4 times? 5 times last week? Uh-oh. I got a few you holdouts. I want you to think about it. Substantial. Okay? And you're probably thinking like I was, can I actually do it? Can I do this? Vanessa on the call I said, Vanessa, I want like a 5-step model, right? A 1, 2, 3, right? It should be a 3-step, but I made it a 5-step so I can complicate things. Imagine if all you had to do was identify businesses you either knew, maybe in your town, you found on Google, LinkedIn, whatever, social media, and you got them to fill out an opt-in, and you could stop there. I don't even care if you talk to them. Let that sink in. What if you could get businesses to fill out the opt-in, and maybe you talk to them, maybe you don't. Or maybe you go further, you let us do the work, and you help. Maybe you bring in some docs, get some documents, help. That's one of the challenging parts. What if you made more money? Listen, when I made this slide, it was hundreds of members have submitted multiple deals in their first week. I am very proud to say that I'm going to make a slide change in real time, and it no longer says hundreds, because now, my friends, it's thousands. Thousands of members have submitted deals and multiple deals in their very first week, right? Tracy, it might be my fault. Thank you for telling that, Tracy A. I'm going to pay attention to that. Let me give you some feedback. I could give you my numbers, but it's not really cool. I mean, that's you want to hear what normal. Do you want to hear like what the absolute single best person ever is doing, or you want to hear what kind of normal people are doing? You tell me. I can tell you what the best people are doing, or do you want to know what the average normal person is? All right. Thank you. So listen, I get thank you notices like David Powell here. I get these messages all the time. This just seems too easy for my friend Larry. Scott's up in Wyoming. He's the only person I had known up until this day from Wyoming, and I met him online. His CPA loved it, told him to do it. You can see I've got the disclaimers. These are lawyer speak that basically said results may not be typical. These are examples, not guarantees. This was the very first time I had anybody else kind of do this with us. His name was Tim, and he referred a health and wellness company. They did like cryotherapy. He was the very first person. So I'll give him a shout out. They had 24 employees. Hey, y'all, how much could that business get? Does anybody remember? How much was it per employee? Does anybody remember? 26,000. So this guy, Tim, helped this business get 24 times up to 26,000. For the sake of easy math, let's just say it was 10,000 per employee. Do you think 240,000 would make a difference for this business? What do y'all think? Do you think 240,000 would help him? I bet. What if I don't know how much Tim made? What if Tim made, I don't know, 8, 10, 12K? Do you think that would help Tim? Think about it. Of course. All right, yes, last time. All right, Vanessa, if you guys want the link now, and I want to keep going with the presentation, but I get it. I know that some of you are asking again. If you want the link now, write link. And Vanessa, if you didn't get one, she's going to reply only to you, and we'll give it to you right now. I just want to stay on track if that's cool. Okay, cool. All right, so Burgess, this guy got a retail store, a home remodeling business, another retail store. So many examples of real people. Feedback on training from Wendell down in Georgia. Who's this? Ray Powell in Atlanta. He got a restaurant. Susan got a doctor's office. Amanda got an eyelash business. I mean, totally crazy. An eyelash business, right? I don't even know what that means. This guy's a beast mode. I'll have to talk about him later. But Mark Klipsch, just a good dude. Submitted a manufacturing company. He was real early. They had 18 employees. Remember, up to $26,000. Okay. We got Steve in North Carolina. He's out fishing, but he's submitting a bunch of deals. We got grocery stores from Cynthia. All right, here's a great example of somebody doing more than one deal. Naomi, California, I believe. At the time I made the slide, she had done 11 deals. 11. And what if I told you that she's done some big deals? Naomi's smiling. Let me leave it at Naomi's smiling. We got Frank. How's 16 deals for Frank? How many of you said, man, I don't even think I could do one? Well, Naomi got 11 and Frank got 16. You don't care about how many I've done, but these are normal people. These are normal people. All right, this guy got 11. I'm going to tell you a secret. I think he gave me permission. Antoine referred a deal, a nonprofit, and made $100,000 on one referral. How's that, you guys? $100,000. I believe the real answer was 99,200 or 300, but we rounded it up because I was like, what do you mean we didn't send him 100? So we rounded it up to make it six figures. But this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. This guy, Tommy, 29 deals. Kevin said, Brian, how relevant is this since you've been doing this for a year? Over a year, Kevin. Well, Kevin, there's about 33 million businesses. My company is probably the largest in the country doing this. It's a really good question. It's a fair one. I'm glad he asked. Vanessa, get Kevin a gift card too, because this is a good question. So I'm arguably one of the largest, if not the largest. What if I told you I've done 14,000? It might be 15 or 16 now. I don't check that number all the time. It's less than 20. I'm one of the biggest companies. I've done less than 20. There's 30 odd million businesses eligible. And let's say there's about 10 real companies doing this. And let's say they all did as much as me, which they didn't. All right. So we're at like 200,000 deals. And let's say 100,000 people did it themselves, which they did not. Now we're at 300,000. And let's say 10,000 got it done by their local CPA and another 100,000 by their payroll company. We might have about 400 or 500,000 deals in the entire country that have taken advantage of the program. So I'd say it's pretty relevant, but it's a good question. It's the kind of question you should ask. 29 deals in the last 6 months. 29 deals in the last 6 months. Gina Reynolds down in South Florida somewhere, 11 deals. Remember, average payout varies between $2,800 and $7,000 depending on what the business elected. Right? So she's got 11 deals. That's a decent amount of money. Remember I told you that guy Mark who did the timber company, the manufacturer of wood? Well, he's done 30 plus deals. When I made the slide, it was 30. I know he's got more. 30 plus deals. These two, husband and wife, Ron and Kimberly, they've done 18 the time I made the slide. 18 deals. Bud Clark, I need to update this slide. He's in Utah, near the ski resorts, right? He's done 12 with his wife, Claire. 12 deals. This guy, I'm dying to meet this guy, Stanley P. Stanley, if you're ever on the webinar, man, I can get your number. We'll connect. 31 deals. 31 deals. 31 deals. Vanessa, have we paid this guy ever more than 10,000 in one deal? Do you know offhand? He's done a lot of deals. I don't know what we pay him.
Oh, he's done so many.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's had multiple 5-figure deals as well.
Yeah.
A lot of these people have had. You guys, I'm intentionally avoiding making income statements to you, but I will tell you this: 31 deals. The low payment on average is 2,800. The high average is about 7,000. Y'all can multiply. What if I'm not in the U.S.? Well, Sean is international. Sean V. You see him with his wife there. He's done 20. Vanessa, we may need to update these slides because I think the numbers have increased. Shout out to this guy, Sean. He's done 20 deals at least. No, thank you, Sebastian. I appreciate that. Jeremy, this guy's great. He's done 12 deals. 12 deals. This guy's beast mode. Herschel. Just a fabulous guy. Absolutely fabulous. Man, he had one deal that the business was a piece of work, but Herschel made a good payout. I was very happy for him. I don't know about you, but 45 deals sounds unbelievable. Well, Roland is rolling every day. This guy has more deals coming than I can shake a stick at. I see him all the time. You want to notice a trend? There's a lot of people with a lot of deals making a lot of money. Herb in Virginia, this guy's just getting going. He's got at least 12 now. I mean, these slides are a little bit older. Listen, somebody said, "Are there any costs?" No, I don't. We're not charging a thing, Sebastian. There's really no opportunity for you to pay. So there's no upsell, downsell. I do some live events in our offices, but there's no fee. Most of the time I buy lunch, try to include all the costs. Norma, I love Norma. 15 deals. Secret. Norma has closed the largest deal, a franchise, a sports franchise. The payout to Norma is monster, and I'm not going to state it, but let's just say it dwarfs any other number I've been mentioning, including Antoine's. So, Steve, he had 13 deals when I made this slide. He's got more, I'm sure. Guys, I have so many people bringing in deals, right? When I made this slide, 20 members had at least one new deal. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to get down to it. But before I do, not everybody wins, right? The hard truth, right? Nobody likes to admit on the call. I had this guy who I kind of liked. He was pretty active and engaged. His name is Andy. And he's like, I just think this is spammy. It's not working. It seems to be another money losing program. Man, this one hurt because I want every single person to make money. Right now, we're somewhere between 50 and 70% of the members are making money. So that's a pretty real stat. I'll have to update it because we have some new members that have come in. It'll change the averages. But this guy, Andy, was frustrated. Hey, really quick, give me a 6 if you've ever been frustrated after you got into something and you were like, wow, this is nothing like what I thought. Give me a 6. Yeah, right? That's the truth. That's the truth. Well, that's what happened to Andy. But remember, it's 5 easy steps. I'm not kidding. It's 5 steps. You can make it 2 steps. Identify and refer, right? Hey, I'm going to pause. I'm going to sneak a sip of water. Before we go on, who thinks, you can just say me, who thinks this is a tremendous opportunity? A tremendous opportunity. Anybody? Hey, Vanessa, Carl's story, man. Let's get Carl a gift card. Thank you, Carl. A lot of you. Listen, it is. Now, let me tell you. So the name of our company is ERTC Express. You can tell we're real creative with that there, huh? ERTC Express. And let me tell you more about us. We're one of the nation's largest. I always avoid. I don't want to do absolutes because I don't know everybody else's business. We're one of the largest firms focused exclusively on this program. We're heavily focused around compliance. You can tell I'm not very good at graphics, y'all. So what I did is I grabbed this cool template and I should have deleted the box where it says describe the company facts. How about this? I'll do it in real time, keeping it real. All right, here we go. This is kind of how it goes. We just got started in 2021. I'm in Tampa, Florida right now, sitting in the office, about 20 odd thousand square feet. When I made the slide, it was 11,000, but it's much more on the customers. Team members were over 7,000. I think we still have 4 offices. We've got our own tech stack. Somebody said, can you track? Can you do this? The answer is yes to all those questions, you guys. We're based around certified public accountants. I've been a believer my entire career in the value of having a trusted advisor, an accountant, a CPA. We're focused on compliance, and we do this thing called the power of 3, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Here's our office in Tampa. We're on the 3rd floor. I'm in the Atlanta office, except I'm in Tampa a lot. What else? All right. So what do? We do one thing, and we do it pretty darn good. We focus exclusively on this tax credit program called the ERTC. Right? Some pictures of some of the team. That's my goofy self in the front on the left. That's the CEO in the middle, John. You can see some of the team. Let's see. Compliance focused. There's no rubber stamp. And look, if a business is eligible, great. If they're not, that just means they did well and we should be happy for them. So CPAs, we don't use automated software. I'm a big fan of software, you guys. We don't use, the work isn't done, in Manila or something like that. All the files are evaluated by 3 different teams. These are internal accountants, not external, right? And we have this concept, right? They have this concept of an escrow account. So instead of chasing customers to pay us, all the money goes to what's called a lockbox. And as the money comes in from the government, we get paid and the business gets paid and nobody has to go chase checks. Never a good thing, right? These are some of the difference makers, right? Now we are actually the wholesale side of ERTC.com, right? So you can go to ERTC.com and see some more stuff. I mentioned there's a goofy picture of myself down there, but I mentioned teaching a session to the AI CPA. This was my session. Best practices to handle complex non-gross receipts based eligibility. And I taught a whole lot of CPAs a session on the ERTC. And it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I learned as much as I was given. At the end of the day, what we're doing, you guys, is an exclusive affiliate opportunity designed to allow you to refer small businesses. You can earn commission on every deal, right, that is approved and paid out. Unique. This is very unique, right? Notice I'm not ranking the business. I'm not getting them more customers, more leads. Vast majority of businesses are unaware of what we're doing. What you're able to do is partner with our team of experts to maximize your earning potential without having to do the work. We've got a couple modules of training. We don't overthink it. Module 1 is the Cliffs Notes. If you happen to be about at least my age, maybe I'm 50-ish, maybe a little younger, but these are these little notes, these little books you could buy at the bookstore when you're in high school. It's probably college too. And it broke down whatever the assignment was. It broke down physics or English or math, right? Calculus or something. And that's what we do in Module 1 is just break this thing down. Module 2, it's all about getting to the money. Simple training. How you make money. Examples, case studies, breakdowns. Useful stuff. Module 3, 2 parts to this. We got something we call the circle formula, which has been proven across a large number of members. I don't know how many, but a large number have used this. Hands-free, you don't have to go meet or talk with anybody. If you're outside of the US, you can absolutely do this. If you're inside of the US, you should be able to do it as well. There's no excuses. We got lots of different funnels, but at the end of the day, one result, getting a deal. And this is like a new module I added a while back because the most common question I would get, hey, where's all the big deals? I want to do all the deals where they're getting at least $1 million because these are people thinking I'm going to make a higher commission. Well, funny enough, I decided to create a whole module about getting the big deals. It's like if I was teaching you how to fish and I took you where the big fish were, right? That's all we do in this module. Cool. All right. Now, we got all kinds of marketing stuff. You can read flyers, emails, videos, scripts, messaging, subject lines, lots of brochures. Just hired a couple new in-house marketing people to dream up new stuff to give you. What else? Now, I got a few bonuses, but straight up, give me a 1 right now if you're excited, even just almost excited, and you want to learn more, right? Because then I'll know kind of what the interest is. And I know we gave the link to a couple of you, but if you're excited, I love it. Hank, thank you so much. And Tracy, right? Okay, watch this. We got a website. Now I got a new website I'm about to roll out. I'm within a couple days of rolling this thing out. But the old one works I'm flipping slides and going through a website. The old one works pretty darn good. It's got all kinds of stuff. Most important thing is an opt-in form, which is part of a calculator that allows a business to estimate how much money they may or may not get back. Everything is done for you. There was no step on any of my slides that said, Tracy Carlos James, build a website. There's no step for that. Now, somebody said, are there really people outside of the US? Well, I told you about Sean. We got Errol in London, who's a retired pastor. He's got some health challenges. We've got him involved. We've got Gail. Gail's in New Jersey, so that's part of the US. But Gail said something that obviously connected with me personally. She made a statement, and she said, this opportunity is the very best thing I have ever seen. So thank you so much for getting us involved. Thank you guys so much. Guys, pretty amazing. I mean, you don't often get comments like that, and it's honestly really nice to read. It made me feel good. We got so many deals happening all the time, you guys. My absolute biggest problem. Ooh, I just had an audio issue here. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so my one problem, don't laugh, but my absolute biggest problem that I'm facing right now is that we have so many members that are owed a commission, and we have to chase them down to fill out their wire or ACH information. We call it Every. We use a little software program, but pretty crazy. That's absolutely our biggest problem. Now, what I want to do is I want to put the link up now, and this is going to be should fit with what you are hoping for, because today a very special price. There's absolutely free. There is no payment required. There's no trial. There's no deposit. There's no multi-pay. There's nothing. It is free. We welcome you. We look forward to supporting you and helping make you successful. As a matter of fact, I will put this link up. If you have any issues and you need a hand, this is a Zendesk support area, erc.team/support, right? You'll see that at the top of the screen. You'll see the sign up link here at the bottom. All right. So, man, all right, I'm getting questions. I'm going to pop a couple of them up. So Bobby just asked, how long will this be available, Brian? Well, the availability will end depending on eligibility of the business, right? 3 years past the due date of their specific quarter. So by early 2025, it will end. It'll start to phase out, though. Before that, we got just under 2 years, guys. This is a great one from Perry, and then I'm going to get back in and finish this up. But Perry said, hey, what's the turnaround time from the day we sign someone up for their business, like to the day we get paid, we get the check, is what he is saying. How long does it take? Well, the fastest that it occurred was 11 days. The average is typically somewhere between 3.5 and 4 weeks. So I just rounded it down to 4 weeks. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is go back into the presentation. So I want to call out Titos. Titos is in Texas, super good guy. And this one, my friends, is cool. He's done so many, but he had somebody walking dogs literally past his house, or he's walking his dogs. He passes somebody that obviously was a business owner, chats him up, owns a landscaping company, got a deal. He also had, I think he's done 4 or 5 deals, but he had a restaurant deal. It was like a monster, well over $1 million to the business. So Titos did very well. They had over 500 employees. Now I want you to remember from earlier in our presentation, it's up to 26,000 per W-2. I want to highlight Burgess again. This guy is just fabulous, just a real worker. He went and got pizza for the family. Nice picture of Burgess and some of his family here. 200 employee restaurant, and he's just blown away. So I ask you right now, you know that there is no cost. You know that we are ready to get you on our team and have you going through the process. Are you in? Are you fired up yet? Maybe you still want more, because I have more for you. I'm not done yet. I've come up with a few more things to help make you successful. Now, you already know that there is no cost. However, there is some built-in scarcity. So I want to make sure that if you're interested, you sign up now. First, we've got an amazing training group with thousands of people. This is awesome. I'm in there. I'll admit I'm not in there. I'm maybe a half hour to an hour a day, but still I'm in there helping people. And so is our entire team. You can network with other owners, other partners. You can immerse yourself on what's working, and you can hear firsthand from real people what's working and what's not working. All right. Community is so supportive. I'm always welcoming people in, and you can see great feedback from people on this screenshot. Pretty cool. Now, second, we do a lot of live lead gen training. how to get deals, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters, right? You need to figure out how to get deals. So I'm going to teach you. My team is going to teach you. We're going to give you blueprint strategies that work. We're going to share case studies. We're going to focus on high profit niches. You're going to join some of the best trainers anywhere. And we've been doing this since the beginning on how you can kind of replicate what we're doing. Now, lead tracking is a big one. Now, some of you have been involved in affiliate marketing like I have. You know that this is crucial. Lead tracking is crucial. You probably are thinking, how do I know if my leads signed up? Well, good news. I've been doing this for over 20 years. We build a system to keep it as easy as possible, right? It doesn't involve cookies or any of that stuff that can be deleted. You don't have to wonder what status is your referred deal in. Did it close? How close are you getting paid? It's a very elaborate yet simplistic system that anybody could use with just a couple minutes of going through it. So very cool. All right, I'm getting myself excited and I'm already in. So if you're excited, give me a 1 right now. I mean, give me a 1 in the Q&A box right now, because I'm not done at all. So I got a couple good things for you. So if you are thinking, Brian, this sounds amazing, and I love that it doesn't cost anything, but I'm gonna need help. Well, I have a team in my Atlanta office, right? I have a team in my Atlanta office that is gonna help. We're gonna generate, right, with our software and tooling, unlimited business contacts. We do it manually. We're gonna compose data like you see on the screen with contact, phone, email, Facebook, LinkedIn information, all this stuff. So you're able to really just kind of rinse and repeat using the system. We let you do this 1 time a day. There is no cost. There is nothing that I'm going to do now or later where I say, give me a credit card. Okay. Nothing to do with our system requires a credit card. All right. So bonus number 5 is what I call hands-free funnels. You can get our ads, our emails. You can quote unquote borrow my subject lines. You never need to talk to prospects. I have some models I recommend. I do not recommend large-scale bulk emailing for 99% of you. And I teach you why, and I teach you what's working for average people and how they're making money. So this is bonus number 5. It's available for all of you. Yes, as you guessed it, no, I'm not done yet. I've got some mega bonuses, right? You guys, the mega bonuses are designed to really take away any possible objection. I'm going to put the first one up. And what I want to tell you is this. This first one is a complete nurture and follow-up system. I want you to imagine that you had a team of people, 5 or 6 people, 10 people that worked in your office, and all they did is followed up with every submission, every deal you get, right? This is really where the rubber meets the road. If you've been in marketing for any amount of time, you know that sometimes you'll get multiple emails, and it's the multiple touch points that really make a successful promotion. Let's face it, sometimes you might get a deal and then you do nothing else. I am so guilty of that. Rather than lose potentially, up to thousands of dollars, our team will nurture them. We're good at this. We'll follow up with them on the phone, with emails. We will manually text them compliantly, no bulk texting, right? We'll do everything we can in a one-off basis designed to connect and get that referral on the phone with one of the team, and we'll do it 100% for you. There is no add-on fee again for this bonus. This, my friends, will be the best bonus you never knew you needed, because if you're like me and virtually everyone else, you are the worst at follow-up. Now, the second mega bonus is you're going to get access to our monthly mastermind. These are via GoToWebinar, sometimes live video. This is based on a 14-year model I've continued to dial in. You can plug into our system. You can let us help you not only set up your website, which we're now doing in real time, but we even offer ongoing one-on-one help. Notice I said one-on-one help. You don't see that often. You get access to the mastermind and all the training. So this is awesome. I promise you, while you don't know you need it, you need it. So what I want to say is there should be no more excuses. There's no reason you can't be successful. It's not about being successful at clients, e-com, affiliate marketing. You don't have to be technical. You don't have to be a traffic expert. None of the headaches of, say, a marketing agency. Listen, this is an easy to follow system. Use our roadmap. There is no fulfillment. Partner with our team. You do not have to work alone. Now, what happens after you sign up? All right. It's such a good question. I want to show you what's going to happen. First, you're going to go to a screen that looks like this. You're going to get it like it's like a thank you page, right? Dynamically generated. You're going to get a personal website. Now, this is automatically generated. We're going to show you how to kind of map that to your own domain. You can track the progress through your portal. It then talks about setting up payment information. Notice you don't often see that when you sign up for stuff because, well, one, you're usually working on your own. Here, you're working as part of a team. But to get paid, you need to kind of get in the system. If you're international, non-US, you can skip that step because we do a wire for you. You can sign your agent agreement and training. Now, you get a couple emails out of the gate. You actually get 4. And you get one that gives you access to our training portal. You get another one, which is like a eDoc. We use a company called PandaDoc. It's just an electronic document signing where you sign a very short agent agreement. We then send you the link to set up how you get paid. We call it Every, and this is a software that's out there. It's a SaaS company. And then lastly, you get information on the live training calls. Pretty easy. These 4 things come to you. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, portal access. The email will look something like this. You'll see an email, a password, and the link where you can log in. It's your usual welcome, rah-rah stuff, right? The agent agreement will look a little different because it actually comes from PandaDoc, right? It comes from PandaDoc. And the reason I want to show you this is I want to make sure you don't skip it, and I want to make sure you get this done right away because our attorneys require that everybody have signed the contract before they can participate and, of course, be paid. Speaking of paid, the Every email will look something like this. It comes from noreply@every.com, and this is just how you set it up. This is applicable only for U.S. agents. Even if you were to get one, if you're non-U.S., skip it. It doesn't work outside of the U.S. We set you guys up in our system to do bank-to-bank wires, so don't worry about it. What else? Training. You get this email regarding training. So this is useful, you guys. I cannot tell you how much time I spend helping and training people and solving problems. This is the most useful thing you're ever going to get, and the calls are very valuable. And even if you can't make them, it's completely okay. Here's why, right? We save them all. We record them. You can go through them at your leisure. You can fast forward, rewind, whatever. Very, very useful. All right, so at this point, I want to try to net this out. As you know, we've got a very special offer today. It is absolutely free. There is no payment required, no deposit, no nothing, no multi-pay, no credit card. Not only will you not be asked now, there will not be an ask to join any kind of mastermind. There will not be an ask to join any kind of upsell at all. Now, you may be involved in third-party things that you're doing, and they may be very complimentary and support what we're doing here. And I encourage you, figure out how you can apply the other things you're doing here to kind of monetize. So I'm going to take a few more questions at this time, and I'm just going to grab them out of the question box. I saw Juan asked a few questions. One's from Miami, and one said, can I do this if I live in Puerto Rico? So one from Miami, it's a good question. He's asking, can I do non-50 states, so the territories in the U.S.? And one, the answer is yes. As a matter of fact, if somebody was on the call and they happen to live in Puerto Rico, that'd be great. You could do the same thing, okay? If you happen to live in France or Asia, Could you still do this? Yes, you would have to do this following our system and model with US businesses, not obviously businesses in France, right? Okay, so that's a good question. Let me see. I'm going to try to see if I can flip some on the screen. Let's see if I can do that while I'm doing this, you guys. I'm just skimming them. There's a lot of people, and I see the team answering, some of you behind the scenes. Here's a good one. So somebody said, what about CPAs? So Sid, who's our agent trainer, has done a good job signing up CPAs that refer deals, and he actually makes an override on the business they send. And we can talk about that on one of the training calls. All right, so I want to put this back up. I know I had it up a little bit ago from Gail. And the cool thing about what Gail said, I want you to think about it. We've all been involved in different opportunities, programs, courses, side gigs, hustles, ventures, startups, right? What's amazing about what we're doing is it's one of the best things I've ever seen, she said. So thank you so much for getting us involved. I want to echo that she's correct. I want to echo it's not going to cost you anything. You have the opportunity. It's not a guarantee, right? Remember, everything I show you in here are real examples, but there is no guarantee of success. I need you to understand that. Individual experiences may not be typical and will likely vary. So there's no money to start up. You have the chance to make a difference helping people, helping businesses, helping families, employees, etc. And you have the opportunity to earn a significant fee. So I tell you that. So I want to put this up because I keep getting some international questions. Listen, Errol in London, fabulous, fabulous. Why do I tell you this? Well, you don't have to be in the US. I've said it a bunch of times. Remember, it's 5 easy steps. Identify the prospects. I teach you and help you do that. Simply get them to sign up on your website. And if you want to make more money, you can do additional steps. All right. On the website, right now, I'm actually working on redoing the form, but this form rolls into a calculator. Somebody's asking me, where do they sign up? So, Tim, they sign up on your specific website. They sign up on your specific website. The initial form, the minimum amount to get started is this information, Tim. So their business name, there's a drop down for industry, really easy. First name, last name, their phone number, email, and how many employees they have. That is kind of like the minimum barrier to get moving. And all right, let's see. All right, so another one about who is ERTC Express. So I'll go back. I'm going to zip back to this slide. Here it is. So where is it at? Right here, guys. So ERTC Express is a consulting company backbone by a team of CPAs. Now, our CPAs are both internal W-2 employees of the company, and there are a couple external firms for overflow, heavily focused on compliance. I mentioned certified public accountants. We believe the value of the CPA is critical. There are a lot of other ways you could probably slice this. People are using, team members in other countries, India, Philippines, whatever. People, Pakistan, I know somebody. People are using clerks, admin. People are using software. We believe the value of a certified public accountant who's an expert, right? Dealing with the IRS. They're certified. They have a license with a state or multiple states. They are allowed to practice before the IRS is the proper way to do this. We also have external law firms on complicated cases that actually get involved and help decide if the business is eligible or not. Headquarters of the company is Tampa. We actually have over 7,000. I know it says 2,800. I'll have to get somebody to update that, but over 7,000 or 8,000, both internal and agents. And we have 4 offices, and our tech stack is built from the ground up to manage this process. So important to know that. This is a picture of the office building. I had to take it early in the morning when nobody was there. What else? Let's see. What do we do? We are solely focused on the employee retention tax credit. Easy. There are other CPA firms in the country, some of which are even doing this. The difference is our entire team has one mission: helping American entrepreneurs gain access to this capital they didn't know exist. All right. Some of the team that actually showed up for the picture that day, it's me in the front, kind of front left. That's John in the front center, Marvy to the right of John. What makes us different? Compliance, compliance, compliance. I promise you, it's better to say no to deals that don't fit. We do not rubber stamp files. As a matter of fact, I have zero involvement in deciding whether a file is eligible or not. The CPA and the accounting team makes those decisions. All files are evaluated by the team and sometimes an external law firm. We do not use automated software or non-CPAs to do the work. Well, let me clarify. We do not use non-accountants. There are staff accountants that work for our CPAs, but every single file is touched by a CPA. Power of three. We have three different internal teams that always are touching the file. We only had one. We had one guy originally. And actually he was an external CPA. And then we went to internal, and then we just kind of built out the model of redundancy around multiple accounting teams. So with our lockbox system, that is the last differentiator. If you've ever done any kind of work for clients, you'll know that sometimes they don't like to pay. We have this thing buttoned up in a way that you don't have to worry about it. As a matter of fact, I even taught a session to the American Institute of CPAs last fall, October of 22, on how to handle complex non-gross receipts-based cases. Now, I want you to think about that. I was able to teach this CE class to other CPAs. So you can see that we're able to get industry recognition, and we built not only a team, a process that other people are extremely happy with. As a matter of fact, we're helping other accounting firms. So great question. So what I'm going to do is, there's a question from Jill regarding what deals are biggest. So Jill, the easy way to answer that is the larger the deal, the more employees, the larger the deal in general. So I do have, I'm going to put this up, module 4, I created for one reason, to answer that exact question, right? The question is this: where are the big deals? How do I find these deals where businesses are getting $1 million or more? I mean, I get Jill's point. At the end of the day, she's like, all right, I want to find deals that are lucrative. I want to find deals that are going to pay me large payouts. And I get it. I didn't have this originally, but I do now. And what I did here is basically just go after and teach you where those are. After we had done, like 1,000 deals, we knew one thing for sure. We knew certain businesses tended to be larger than other businesses. So Jill, we have a whole session on that. All right. I'm going to put this back up. You got the link on the screen. Yes. Vivek, the link is on the bottom of the screen. You simply click here. It's 4 or 5 fields. It is easy to get started. There is no credit card once again. And yes, you can do this from New Delhi. Thank you. Any other questions right now? Because what I want to do is I want to paint a story. I want to ask a question to each of you. I want to ask right now, can you do this? Give me a 1 if you think you can do this. I know you can sign up. It's free. And I'd welcome you. Even if you're not sure, I welcome you. This is truly one of the most crazy fun things I've been involved in my entire life. Look at the one streaming in right now. Guys, listen, you can do this. If you're not sure, I'm going to help, and my trainers will help get you ready to go. Now, I want you to tell me, knowing a typical deal might pay a few $1,000s in commissions, right? How many deals, how many businesses do you want to give away free money? How many businesses do you want to help? Just type in a number right now. How many businesses do you want to help personally? Yeah. 3, 16, 100. I love this one. Jennifer said, I don't know yet, but it's a really big number. So I won't read all these out. It should be a really big number. All right. Once again, if you need help from our support team, I'm going to put that link back up. erc.team/support. The team is awesome. They're actually in the office. Most of them are in the office with me, and I can't say enough good things about them. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go. Let me find another. I'm just skimming these, you guys. Okay. One more time. I'm going to leave the link up. I will. So I'm going to take 3 more questions and then we're going to call it. I want to encourage you, however, get on board now. The scarcity. So no, I'm not going to pull it away from you, but the government is. The government can cancel this program at any time. It is currently set to expire in just a tad under 2 years, right? From the date from today. So why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why. The rate and the frenzy and the pace of businesses that want to get this free money is going to accelerate. Right now, maybe 1% of all businesses have taken advantage of this program. 1%. The market is completely open, even though some of you have asked me, I know somebody else doing this. That's okay. You're going to be on the A team, the #1 team out there. We've been doing it since the law changed in March of 2021, where they allowed businesses that got a PPP to also do this work. Now, I will tell you, while it feels like there's a lot of people, there's almost nobody when you think there's 30-odd million businesses eligible. And I am pretty sure, I wish we can get a count from the IRS. I'm almost positive they haven't even had 500,000 businesses apply for this. Think about that. Okay. Great questions. Anybody else? Is there anything I'm missing before we end this call? Is there anything else you need? I'm going to encourage you last time, simply sign up. All right, Bobby. Bobby's like, Brian, could I make 10,000 plus a month doing this? Bobby, the answer is there's really no cap on how much you can make. Making 10,000 in a month is extremely doable. There are many other members that have done that. You can, I mean, just in the spirit of all honesty, though, if you don't do anything, you're going to make 0. Fortunately, it was free, so it's not going to cause you any kind of heartache. But the reality is, yes, to answer your question, Bobby, you can do that. Right? All right. Absolutely final question. I love it. I'm going to end with this. Renata's question. Is there one specific niche or vertical or market, she's asking, that I should go after to really be successful? What if I told you that a large percentage of our deals are in the restaurant, bars, and nightclub space, like just under 20%? Now, I will also tell you that in every state, every one of those businesses will likely qualify as long as they had some kind of indoor facility. Now, if it was takeout only, that may not be true. Now, of course, this is generalizations on a call, Renata, but that would be the easiest niche. Now, I'm going to be transparent and tell you that is the one niche that's received a lot of marketing material, okay? So you may find that only 1 out of every 2 or 3 haven't done it. And that's okay because that's a monster rate. And it's almost a sure thing. I see restaurants getting from 20 and 30,000 for super small places to well over 1 million, if not more, depending on employee headcount. All right. I love it. I can stay on here all day, all night with you guys, and I'm so happy you're here with me. Remember, this is very special for you today. Click the link below, right? Or type it in if you don't want to click it. Absolutely free. There is no payment required. I encourage you to sign up, become an agent on our team, become a field agent with us, participate in this monster opportunity, right? I don't want to make, I think you can tell on this webinar, I've avoided making any kind of income claims. You know why? There are so many examples of members making large amounts of money that I didn't want to make it sound like everybody is going to do that. Let's just say this. If you're willing to do some work and make yourself uncomfortable, like I said earlier, this is an amazing, amazing opportunity no matter where you live in the world. With that being said, this is Brian Anderson. I'm going to end the webinar. I thank you so much for being here. I encourage you now to hit the link. Have a great rest of your day or evening, no matter where you are in the world. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.